drifting unaware of the fire in the air.
Morning whispers, gentle breeze, life was moving peacefully. Then the thunder split the blue, ash and steel came crashing through.
Cries of fear, the sirens wail, hearts were breaking, courage pale.
But in the smoke a spark remained. Through the loss, through the pain, we remember the flames in the sky. We remember the tears we cried.
Through the ashes we will rise again.
From the sorrow, from the end.
Though the night tried to take it all,
Still we stand, we will not fall.
in the echoes of the fallen call.
We endure, we carry on. Brothers are lost beneath the waves, names now carved upon the brave. Empty letters never read, lingering words the silence kept.
Shattered steel and burning seas, ghosts that drift on wounded dreams. Yet within each broken soul burned a fire to make us whole.
We remember the flames in the sky. We remember the tears we cried.
Through the ashes we will rise again.
From the sorrow, from the end.
Though the night tried to take it all,
Still we stand, we will not fall.
in the echoes of the fallen call.
We endure, we carry on.
From the ruins voices rise, not for vengeance but for life. Hope reborn in darkest hour, forged within the heart of power.
Through the grief, through endless night, came a will to stand and fight. Not in hatred, but in flame.
To ensure their loss not vain.
We remember the flames in the sky. We remember the tears we cried.
Through the ashes we will rise again.
From the sorrow, from the end.
Though the night tried to take it all,
Still we stand, we will not fall.
in the echoes of the fallen call.
We endure, we carry on. From the silence, strength was born.
From the ashes,
Hope was sworn.
hands once trembling now unite.
Carrying a fallen light.
No more shadows claim our name. No more fear can break the flame. Through the scars, through every trial, we stand unbroken, reconciled.
Voices rising vast and strong, turning grief into a song.
Not forgotten, not in vain. They live on through us again. Sleeping giant had been awake.
In the land of the rising sun, a daring mission had begun. Led by a man with a heart of steel, Jimmy D and his men they would reveal. From the deck of the Hornet they took flight. With no chance of returning they took the fight. To the heart of Tokyo they would fly, never seen before they reached the sky. Jimmy D and his brave men, their courage and strength will never forget. They flew away with a mission to fulfill, to avenge Pearl Harbor with a determined will. Through the clouds and over the sea, they flew on with a sense of destiny. Their bombs would rain down on the enemy's land as they carried out their mission with a steady hand. The sound of their engines roared through the night as they lit up the sky with a fire so bright the people of Tokyo had never seen such a sight. It was like a dream. They say revenge is a dish best served cold, but for these men it was a story to be told. They showed the world what America could do when we stand together, red, white, and blue. We'll always remember that glorious day when Jimmy Doolittle and his men paved the way for the USA to rise up and defend with pride and honor until the very end.
June 4th, 1942, the Pacific trembles. From the ashes of Pearl Harbor, vengeance rises. The fate of nations hangs in the balance. This is the turning point. This is Midway.
Since Pearl's fiery dawn, the rising sun pressed ever on. Yamamoto's fleet, a deadly snare, sought to lure us unaware.
The cryptic codes we had unveiled, the secret plans our minds assailed. Nimitz poised with steadfast might to spring the trap and turn the fight.
From Midway shores, the eagle soared,
Steel-winged angels, vengeance roared.
with courage forged in battle's flame. They rose to stake our claim.
Fire in the sky, thunder on the sea. Midway's wrath shall set us free.
Carriers ablaze,
The tide has turned in flames of glory.
lessons learned. Dauntless dive, the bombers fell through flak and fire, a living hell. Akagi Kaga saw youth plight, engulfed in chaos, lost tonight.
Here you struck back with desperate might. Yorktown reeled beneath the fight, yet still we pressed our spirits high, determined not to let her die.
From carriers' decks, the eagle soared,
Steel-winged angels, vengeance roared.
with courage forged in battle's flame. They rose to stake our claim.
Fire in the sky, thunder on the sea. Midway's wrath shall set us free.
Carriers ablaze,
The tide has turned in flames of glory.
lessons learned. Submerged foe struck from below, Hammond sank, Yorktown's woe. Yet through the loss our resolve steeled, a future victory revealed.
Four carriers lost, Japan's great might diminished in a single night. Their seasoned pilots gone to sea, a turning point in history.
From carriers' decks, the eagle soared,
Steel-winged angels, vengeance roared.
with courage forged in battle's flame.
They rose to stake our claim. Fire in the sky, thunder on the sea. Midway's wrath shall set us free.
Carriers ablaze,
The tide
across the Pacific's vast divide. Midway's legacy, our guiding star, leading us to victory afar. Fire in the sky, thunder on the sea. Midway's wrath shall set us free. Carriers ablaze, the tide has turned in flames of glory. Lessons rumbling seas, steel on steel, the night ignites our fate. Sky ablaze with roaring wings, destiny won't wait. October wind tears through waves, carriers side by side. Hi-yo, Junio, so you blaze, Japan's fierce pride.
Hornet fire lights the dawn, defenders in full stride. Enterprise and Halsey lead, hearts of iron and light.
Scout planes cut the dawn's gray veil, Zero flies the sky. Torpedoes scream and bombs descend, the ocean hears our cry.
Tsuiko rings beneath the strike, jets feel raging pain. The deadly dance of life and death unfolds across the main.
Lost beneath the flame streams, hearts of steel still roar.
Tactical edge for Tokyo, but their pilots bleed for more.
Battle cry through thunder, foam and fire collide.
Tactical victory,
But souls are drawn aside, lost upon its bleeding pride.
on the way.
Strategic gain,
The Pacific tides will save.
cruisers blaze with iron shot, destroyers shield the flame. South Dakota, Portland stand amidst the flak and main.
Shokaku's deck inflamed, aircrew fall like rain.
Suikaku's wings beat weary wings,
Too many souls in pain.
Japanese force withdraws, Enterprise to of iron and flame, into a jungle that whispered our names. The sky burned red, the ocean roared. Guadalcanal, the lion's shore.
Boots in the mud, hearts in the fire. We held the line as the night climbed higher.
Hold the airfield, never fall. Ghost of steel at Henderson call.
Through the storm and endless rain,
We rise, we fight, we stand in flame. Brothers bound by blood and sand. We are the shield of this broken land.
the jungle breathed like a living grave. Every shadow a silent blade. Mosquito hymns and fever dreams. War was more than it seemed.
At night they came like a rising tide. Steel in their eyes, no place to hide.
Gunfire carved the dark apart. Each heart beat louder than the stars.
Ships on the horizon, thunder below.
A battle at sea we'd never know.
Hold the airfield, never fall.
Ghosts of steel at Henderson call.
Through the storm and endless rain,
We rise, we fight, we stand in flame.
brothers bound by blood and sand.
We are the shield of this broken land.
Battleships scream in the blackened night. Ocean ignites in flashes of light. We feel the echoes and trembling ground, while angels of fire circle around.
Wings of fury striking fast, keeping hope within our grasp.
Runway of scars beneath our feet,
Where earth and sky in battle meet.
every inch a sacred vow.
We held the line.
We hold it now. Through hunger, fear, and endless pain,
We carved our legacy in rain.
hold the airfield, never fall. Ghost of steel at Henderson call.
Through the storm and endless rain, we rise, we fight, we stand in flame.
Brothers bound by blood and sand.
We are the shield of this broken land.
Dawn broke slow through smoke and cries. Victory written in weary eyes.
We were the storm that would not break. For every soul the island would take.
Hold the airfield, hear the call. Legends rise where heroes fall. Through the fire, through the pain, we carved our names in blood and rain.
Guadalcanal forever stands.
In the never dies.
From Pearl's ashes to the rising tide, she bore the scars but never tried to hide.
Planes like thunder
Tearing through the blue, every deck of promise, she'd see it through.
Guadalcanal night, black waves collide, steel hearts beating where the brave men died. Outnumbered, outgunned, still she remained, a ghost of war that could not be tamed.
When the fleet was gone and hope was thin,
She would not give in. Enterprise, hold the line tonight.
Lone Star burning in the Pacific fight.
When the world went dark, you stood alone, a moving fortress made of bone.
Through Midway's fire, through endless skies, you carried hope
that never dies. They called a gray ghost and whispered dread, a phantom rising where they thought her dead. From eastern Solomons to Philippine seas, she brought an empire to its knees.
every scar a story carved in steel, every loss a vow to never kneel.
Enterprise, hold the line tonight.
Lone Star burning in the Pacific fight.
Through kamikaze flames you cut the air, still rising up through all despair. From darkest days to victory's cries, you are the storm that never dies. Now the guns fall silent, the war is done, but echoes live in what you've become. A legend forged in salt and flame, history will remember your name.
Through every wave and every scar, you showed the world who we are. Not just steel, not just might, but courage burning through the night.
Enterprise, forever you will be the soul of victory on the sea. Enterprise,
Hear the oceans cry,
your fire
we'll never fade or die.
from low.
Defender of victory's call, you stood unbroken through it all. Raise a name to the endless skies.
The gray ghost lives, she never dies. Red horizon thunder cries,
Steel and fire split the skies.
From the sea the darkness came,
Leyte burns in iron flame.
On the shores the armies bled, through the palms and through the dead. Mud and blood beneath their feet.
MacArthur's vow and fate would meet.
Hear the cannons, hear them roar.
Waves of war upon the shore,
Round an ocean fused as one.
battle joined beneath the sun.
Leyte calling, sea of fire, feeding war's relentless fire.
On the land and on the waves,
Marching men and shattered graves,
giants fall and kingdoms drown.
and Leyte Gulf,
they're going down.
From the north the warships steamed, last great empire's broken dream. Battleships of ancient pride,
To meet their doom,
She's sinking, stern to the sky.
Taking an empire's last great cry.
Steel colossus, drag below.
Where silent blackened currents flow. Leyte calling, sea of fire. Feeding war's relentless pyre.
On the land and on the waves,
Marching men and shattered graves.
giants fall and kingdoms drown.
And Leyte Gulf,
They're going down.
when the smoke rolled from the sea,
The end was plain for all to see.
the rising sun had lost its flame.
Its battle line in ruin lay.
No more would giant squadrons reign.
The Imperial fleet would not rise again.
We sail into the dawn's grey light, steel hearts and smoke on ocean bright. Three destroyers bold of fateful stand against the tide that swept the land. From the east the guns of vengeance roared, a mighty fleet in thunder soared. But in the wake of carriers faint and slow, the tin can warriors readied for the blow. With torpedoes and courage their only shield, they charged where steel and fury revealed.
Smoke clouds rising, salvos streak the sky. The echo of distance undenied. Yet the destroyers press their course set clear.
For friends afloat and freedom dear,
They dare the giants despite the odds.
their valor praised by silent God. Raise the flag, sound the siren's call.
For those who answered when duty fell.
Into the moor where shadows crawl.
They met the storm and rose to excel.
When peace was fragile and hope so small,
They stood
unbound.
by honor's well.
The enemy's guns hammered with might, armor-piercing shells in deadly flight. But the destroyers turned aside the wrath, laying smoke, launching torpedoes on the path.
They fought for more than triumph's gain.
For every soul on that carrier's plane.
Wounded decks and fires in rage, yet still they held the monstrous stage. Their mission clear, protect the flank at freedom's doorstep on courage's bank.
Though fate would claim many in that fight,
Their legacy blazing in morning light.
raise the flag, sound the siren's call.
For those who answered when duty fell.
Into the moor where shadows crawl.
They met the storm and rose to excel.
When peace was fragile and hope so small,
They stood
unbound.
by honor's well.
And when the fleet adrift, the battle spun, the foe withdrew, their purpose undone. For valor shown in battered steel made mighty forces bend and kneel. Though some sank into the oceans weep, their story immortal, their vigil deep.
Echoes of vengeance, the torpedoes hiss. Men of resolve in the death zone's abyss. They carved a path through fate's grim door, so future millions may stand on shore.
Their sacrifice, our freedom's seed. In every dawn we owe their deed. Raise the flag, sound the siren's call.
For those who answered when duty fell.
Into sea where steel once roared.
Yet in our hearts the tale is stored.
3 destroyers frail in giant's land.
But heroes still where they made their stand.
Let memory ride on every wave for those who fought, so others might say. Black sands burning under iron skies.
Thunder falls where the eagle flies.
Through the fire, through the flame.
Iwo Jima calls their name.
From the steel of the sea they came ashore.
Into the jaws of a savage war.
Every step fought in blood and pain.
Through the smoke, through the rain.
Raise the flag against the storm. Hold the line though hope is torn.
Brothers fall, but none shall flee. Write their names in memory.
On Iwo Jima stand and fight.
In the shadow of the night.
Through the fire, through the pain.
Honor rising from the slain.
On that island forged in flame. Men became more than a name.
Mount Suribachi watched them climb, counting out the cost and time. Machine guns carved the blackened land. Still they rose, hand in hand.
Days below and death above. Bound by duty, bound by love.
For every brother lost that day, another swore he'd make them pay.
On Iwo Jima stand and fight.
In the shadow of the night.
Through the fire, through the pain.
Honor rising from the slain.
On that island forged in flame. Men became more than a name. When the banner met the sky, it did not mean no more would die.
But in that wind the world could see.
The price of war and victory.
Raise the flag against the storm. Hold the line though hope is torn. Brothers fall but none shall flee. Write their names in memory.
On Iwo Jima stand and fight.
In the shadow of the night.
Through the fire, through the pain.
Honor rising from the slain.
On that island forged in flame. Forever lives that deathless name. deathless name.
exciting story starts. A fortress of steel with fire that glows. BB-63, the mighty Moscow. 16 inches of thunder, never to fall.
Through the stormy sea, she sailed with pride. In the heart of battle, she stood by our side. From the depths of war to victory's dawn, her legacy's written, eternally drawn.
USS Missouri, the ocean's sovereign queen, with her guns ablaze, the enemy seen. From Brooklyn to Tokyo Bay, her story resounds in the waves sway.
In the heat of conflict, she bravely fought, a symbol of freedom in battle sought. Through World War's fury, Korean War's might, and Gulf War's strife, she stayed in the fight.
With power unmatched, she sailed the deep blue. A crew by her side, steadfast and true in the war fiery fray. She carved a legend, come what may. USS Missouri, the ocean's sovereign queen, with her guns ablaze, the enemy seen. From Brooklyn to Tokyo Bay, her story resounds in the waves sway. On that historic day in 45's glow, the world watched on as history's flow. At Tokyo Bay, where the sun did rise, she bore witness to Japan's demise.
So let's salute to the Queen of Sea, to the mighty Mo, symbol of power, she'll forever be.
Her career ended, but her legacy lives on in the stories of bravery, eternally drawn. USS Missouri, the ocean's sovereign queen, with her guns ablaze, the enemy seen. From Brooklyn to Tokyo Bay, her story resounds in the waves sway. USS Missouri, the ocean's sovereign queen, with her guns ablaze, the enemy seen. From Brooklyn to Tokyo Bay, her story resounds in the waves sway. Black chalk on steel doors, midnight breath.
Whispers crawl through desert dust and death.
Hands that tremble, minds that never sleep.
Promises the devil chose to keep. White coats praying over broken stars, blueprints drawn like ritual scars. In the desert, silence learns to scream, science becomes a loaded dream.
Equations carved in human fear, no turning back, the end is near. A spark is born from mortal pride, a sun that cannot be denied.
Countdown echoes in the skull, hope feels empty. ghost without a ground. Nagasaki's second warning bell, proof that gods can manufacture hell. Two decisions carved in flame,
Both damned, both the same.
yet on distant shores they count the dead. Maps of beaches soaked in red, an invasion drawn in endless graves.
Millions lost in crimson waves. What have we done?
Death shine brighter than the sun.
Justice forged from a smoking gun.
If this sin could end the war, what was mercy waiting for? Victory tastes like rust and shame. No one wins this kind of game. Flags rise over haunted ground. Peace is just another sound. Price of freedom, right in human life. Signed with screams, sealed with knives. We stopped the war, we broke the chain, but washed the world in nuclear rain. Heroes bow with hollow eyes. Truth is buried under lies. Is salvation still a crime?
If it saves the end of time. What have we done?
Death shine brighter than the sun.
A million souls into one.
History calls it necessary. The heart calls it an atrocity. Falls slow like dying snow. Lessons learned we'll never know. In the silence judgment comes. I've become the destroyer of worlds.
The light fades out, the shadow stays.
We live inside that blinding blaze.
In the great land of China, a darkness spread, the war begun, but hope still burned in the hearts of men, who answered the call to defend. War hawks soaring high with tigers on their nose, fighting for freedom with every breath they chose, shooting invaders down with mighty 50 cal. American volunteers answered the call. From distant shores they came to a land they didn't know, but united they stood with one aim, to protect China from the foe. Through the smoke and the fire they never backed down, their courage and strength the talk of the town. War hawks soaring high with tigers on their nose, fighting for freedom with every breath they chose, shoot invaders down with my 50 cal. American beat down. American volunteers answer the call. So let's never forget the unit of American volunteers who flew in China's skies and conquered their fears. The flying tigers, heroes in our eyes. The flying tigers, heroes in our eyes.